this day of the 5th of December 2022. Today is a meeting to hear evidence of our next witness, Ms. Sokoni. Maybe before I go into that detail, just to welcome all of you honorable members, welcome the public protector and the legal team, evidence leaders, members of the public, the media, and our support team. I just want to indicate that we are going to follow this following process. Correspondence from the public protector. We're going to allow that team at some point to give us an explanation. But how we're going to do this, I'm going to have the witness sworn in, ask Advocate Mpofu to just explain the difficulty that they have, and have the witness on the record adding to that and explaining that. And thereafter, get members to react to that situation that has been placed through that correspondence, which will be explained in the meeting. And for that, I want to immediately ask Ms. Fatima Ibrahim to do the
Chair.
Introduce the witness.
Chairperson. Yes, no, Chair. Yes, no, I think, yeah, I'm not against the procedure you are proposing, but can you just stand down for 5 minutes so that we can talk to the witness, because that is not what we had arranged with her. I think out of respect for her, let's just find out if she's comfortable with being sworn in at this stage here. Just 5 minutes, Chair. We will do it offline. You don't have to even go off here.
We'll give you those few minutes, Advocate Mpofu. It will be as a proceeding. Thank you. Do that.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Honorable members, we're just going to give that 3 to 5 minutes to the public protector and the team, but the witness would have to put things on the record, and there's no way she'll put that on record without being sworn in. But let's wait.
That's an order, Chair.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
fine. Everything is in order.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for that. Ms. Ibrahim, please do the preliminaries.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning to yourself, all the members and everybody else on the platform. Ms. Sakoni, can you see me and hear me?
Yes, I can see you and I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I'm going to administer your oath, but may I please ask that you give us your full name for the record?
I am Caroline Zulu Sokoni.
Thank you. Ms. Sakoni, you have been invited, subject to the provisions of Section 16 of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act of 2004, to appear before this committee as a witness and to answer questions in respect of the committee's inquiry into the removal of the Public Protector, Advocate Mkhwebane. Please be informed that by law, you are required to answer fully and satisfactorily all the questions lawfully put to you, or to produce any document that you are required to produce in connection with the subject matter of the inquiry, notwithstanding the fact that the answer or the document could incriminate you or expose you to criminal or civil proceedings or damages. You are, however, protected in that evidence given under oath or affirmation before a House or committee may not be used against you in any court or place outside of Parliament, except in criminal proceedings concerning a charge of perjury or a charge relating to the evidence or documents required in these proceedings. Please be aware further that in terms of Section 17(2) of the Powers Act, a person who willfully furnishes a House or committee with information or makes a statement before it which is false or misleading commits an offence and is liable to a fine or imprisonment for a period not exceeding 2 years. Ms. Sakoni, I'm going to ask you to either take an oath or to affirm that the evidence you will give in this inquiry is truthful. You may choose to take either the oath or affirmation. What is your preference?
I will take an oath.
Thank you, ma'am. May I please ask that you raise your right hand and repeat after me?
Beg your pardon?
May I please ask that you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I swear that the evidence I shall give
I swear that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, ma'am. Chair, the witness is now duly sworn.
Thank you, Ms. Ibrahim. I now recognize Advocate Mpofu.
The statement. Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members and everyone. Good morning, Honorable Sokoni.
Good morning.
Chairperson, yes, this is regarding the letter that we wrote to you yesterday, shortly after consulting with Honorable Zulu Sokoni. And it transpired at that time, which was about 3:30 yesterday, I think, when we spoke to the evidence leaders as well, that Mr. Sokoni would not be in a position to testify today due to various issues directly and indirectly related to what I referred to last week about her new status as a, shall we call it, judge-elect. In the last 10 days, she was appointed, or rather nominated, I suppose is the proper word, because the appointment does not yet happen, as a judge in the Republic of Zambia. And that has created a few complications, which I explained to the committee last week. In fact, you'll remember, Chair, that according to our original plan, she was not even supposed to testify now in December. We would have called her when we come back, but we got concerned that we might lose her if the appointment, her appointment to the bench was immediate. And so we rearranged our witness list, so to speak. so that we could have her today, so that if she is unable or not allowed to testify, then at least she would have done so. Unfortunately, that it hasn't worked for various reasons, including the fact that she has not secured the necessary protocols and permissions from her country, which she would have needed anyway to testify outside of the country, because she holds a particular position in that country. Those are internal issues in Zambia that we're not necessarily familiar with. But she wanted us to make it clear that that does not mean that she's testifying for the government of Zambia. She's an independent witness, effectively testifying for the African Ombudsman and Mediators Association, otherwise known as AWOMA or IOMA, which is in the statements that you have as the members. The second reason is that she's also preparing to address her own parliament regarding the procedures to do with her appointment. The third reason is that she also would prefer to testify in person, and she will make arrangements, and that also has got its own approval processes. And that also has to do with issues of connectivity and other related issues. But anyway, that's her preference as a witness. The good news, Chair, in all of that is that apparently the processes to do with her appointment will take longer than what we feared last week. And so she's comfortable that come January, she will still be able to assist the committee. And so for those reasons, Chair, we wanted to request that her testimony be deferred to when we get back in January. That's as far as that is concerned. But on a related topic, when I was speaking to Ms. Bauer yesterday, it looked like we had different dates as to when we are going to resume. And if that can be clarified either by you, Chair, or by Ngozi, because we will need to secure that date with the witness, among other things. So there were two dates. One was the 23rd, which is what I thought it was, but I understood that it might now be the 30th. Well, I have a preference of those two, but I don't have to express it now. For now, all I need is just certainty, so that we can make the necessary arrangements. Chair, I just want to address that there are two other issues that I want to address, but I don't want to mix them all up here. The others are quite small issues here. But as far as the witness is concerned, that is the situation. And finally, she was, Honorable Zulu Sakoni was kind enough to agree to attend today when we requested her to do so, just so that she can confirm the summary that I've just given. But that's all I think that she'll be able to do today. We don't want to get her into a situation where she gets into the merits of any evidence before she gets the necessary approvals, which she's confident she's going to get anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Advocate Mpofu. Just perhaps one question to you before I interact with her. I agree with you. You would raise upfront this issue. It's a possible difficulty at some point last week, but because you were always playing around between Lamula and her at any point come first.
Yes. But
also she would have planned to come on Thursday. Now, I just want you to indicate if that when you said she will be coming on Thursday, was there no such issue of this clearance at that point?
Chair, I have no idea. I mean, I'm telling you what has transpired. I don't know now why you're cross-examining me. I'm telling you that even at that point, the problem.
Yeah, please just work with me. I'm not cross-examining you.
Yeah, no, I'm saying to you, whether it was Thursday or Friday or Sunday or whatever, we would have discovered the issue then. You know, if there was an issue, I told you last week that we were basically bulldozing the witness to try and she was cooperating with us. But you know, those problems. That's why we on Thursday, I think, when we were not able to reach her, fortunately we had a plan B, as you know, on Wednesday, which was Mr. Lamula. And then we arranged with this witness that we would consult yesterday, in other words, to prepare her for today. And as soon as we became aware of these problems, that's what happens. You know, witnesses are human, so things happen. People have accidents or whatever. So we were then told yesterday about these problems. And as soon as we finished, immediately we informed you and the evidence leaders. There's nothing more than that we can do. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Advocate Mpofu. Ms. Sokoni, if I may just interact with you.
Yes, Chair.
Just to help so that the committee is in the same page as you. Can you kindly indicate, so that you give us a proper picture, because Advocate Mpofu is also a South African like us, he's here, you are in Zambia, a proper picture as to, firstly, what are these requirements that you need to undergo in your country for you to participate? And at what point do these requirements kick in? Because when you are approached as a potential witness for this inquiry, one would have thought that an indication of that nature would have been put up front, because you had done your sworn statement of affidavit. When you did that, did you know that there is this requirement and approval that you need before you can come in front of this committee?
Thank you so much, Chair. The approval is required whenever a government official has to travel out of the country. So when you apply for authority to travel abroad, you then inform the government the reason why you are leaving the jurisdiction. That is our procedure in this country. Yes, please. So now, when I was informed that I was going to be appointed judge, it was so sudden. I think I was informed the week before last, you know. Then it became necessary to say, how are we going to approach this? I thought perhaps I was moving immediately, and it was then explained to me later that it's quite a procedure. There are certain levels of approvals which have to go through. So when it was suggested to me that I testify virtually, I was still advised by my officials at the office that even if I'm not applying for leave to travel abroad, I would still have to inform the government that I'm going to address the South African Parliament prior to carrying out this assignment. So it's not an issue of permissions, but it's a courtesy, I think, to my government to let them know that this is what is going on.
Thank you. Now, are you able, even after this meeting, therefore, to share with us at where that is, at what stage is that kind of a request you would have made and pending approval? Have you done that in writing to the government of Zambia or that the authorities that are affected in that regard?
The letter has been written, and it takes about, I think, 3 weeks for the Secretary to the Cabinet to give that approval. They usually ask you to give them 21 days. I think prior to 21 days.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Are there any other honorable members who wants to get some clarity from Ms. Sokoni? Just whilst I'm waiting for that hand, Ms. Sokoni, you met with us already. At least we know this face. You were with us in Cape Town. I think for about I don't know 2-3 days.
Yes, Chair.
So you would have been just a curious observer and not necessarily participating. So what was the nature of approval for that kind of an event?
I still need
No, Chair, honestly, I mean, this is, what are you doing now? I mean, are you now disrespecting a judge of another country? Why are you cross-examining Ms. Sokoni? She's not here. Either you accept her explanation or you don't. If you don't, you can do whatever you think is necessary, but you can't subject her to this kind of humiliation.
Okay, thank you, Advocate Mpofu. I appreciate that, and I want to request you that don't interfere with my chairing of this meeting.
No, but also don't disrespect my witness.
Please don't speak whilst I'm on the platform of Advocate Mpofu. I'm now interacting with Ms. Sokoni, and I've a very simple and direct question. I want you to—
Chairperson, Ms. Sokoni is my witness, and it's my duty to protect her. She's doing us a favor by assisting this parliament. She's not here to be put into a Spanish Inquisition by you.
Advocate Mpofu, I'm going to ask you to stand down on what you're doing.
No, but Chair, what if the witness says then, if this is what I have to go through, I'm not going to assist you? You are now putting her through a Spanish Inquisition for what?
She's an adult to respond for herself. That's why we—
No, she's not. Well, maybe she's Polish. She doesn't know how you are.
Through the chair, respectfully,
I'm going
through the chair.
to stop doing that, Advocate Mpofu.
No, you're out of order, man.
Ms. Sokoni, I've asked you this question.
Yes, through the chair. Thank you very much for that question. That is the procedure when all government officials are traveling. I remember at one time when I was a very young advocate, I actually went on holiday. I left the country. Even when you're going on holiday, I left the country and I went to the United Kingdom and I came back. And then I was scolded. I was told, even when you are going out on holiday, when you're a government official, you must get authority to travel abroad. It's just our procedures in this country.
Thank you, Ms. Sokoni. Honorable Ngola, Honorable Maneli.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and let's indeed welcome the Public Protector from Zambia, and actually appreciate that she actually agreed to assist the committee in terms of, in respect of the work that we are undergoing. I think, Chair, too, the questions that, or the clarities that you were seeking from Ms. Sokoni were relevant for us to plan moving forward, so that we understand correctly what she needs to undergo in terms of the process, and how much time will be fair for her to be able to come back and testify to the committee. Lastly, Chair, I think there is no much that we can do except trying to allocate her testimony in our program for the next day. We have lost another day, Chair, so let's rather work with the current program that we have. I want to propose, Chair, to the committee that let's allocate Ms. Sokoni in the days that we still have, without having to change the program that we have. So that's my proposal, Chair, to the committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Olangola. Honorable Maneli.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think I've been covered in some of the points raised that we may need to look at our program and still create space if that engagement would continue. I'm using if, Chair, because when you've made an application for approval, it depends on the circumstances at that time, whether this would be positive or not positive. And therefore takes me then to the question that the part we're dealing with is relating to an official of government, whether you participate in an organization or not, but necessarily the expertise needed were about an institution separate from that of government. So as to know whether in a case of disapprovals and so on, whether that institution of ombuds would be seconding another person to do that. I think for me it's important because the program has to continue in a particular way, and we need to plan for these eventualities that may be there in case you get a negative outcome. So I'm doing that also respecting that authorities, when they receive application, it's not automatic that they would have to approve or disapprove, but they exercise discretion based on circumstances of the country at the time. So as I said, we normalize some of the points that I thought to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Maneli. Maybe just before summarizing, I see your hand, Advocate Mpofu.
Thank you, Chair. No, I just wanted to respond to Honorable Maneli's point. I think he raises a very valid issue. Sorry, I forgot to mention that here. That even before these current problems, when we heard about the appointment as a judge, because we thought it was immediate at that stage, which is why we mentioned it to the committee, we did send some feelers, Honorable Maneli, that if indeed Honorable Zulu Sokoni was completely unable to assist us, we would have an alternative person. Obviously, we preferred her. So I can just assure the committee that if that could happen, because you never know, you can't control what happens. If she becomes totally unable to help, despite her assurances to us that she thinks that the process will take longer than anticipated, then indeed we will get an alternative person. Thank you. From the organization. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Just maybe so that I take everything into. You wanted to raise other related issues?
Yes, no, there were just two quick issues. One was to do with the date. I think I already raised that. And also just apropos what both Honorable Moll and Maneli have raised here, we're not asking for the adjustment of any program. We would, the only thing we want is for this witness to be deferred, but obviously it will fit into whatever program is there. And that's why Chair was asking about I know it's a moving target and living documents and so on, but as we speak now, what is the resumption date? I think that's becomes important for all of us generally, but also in relation to this witness.
You, Advocate Mpofu. Quickly, Mr. Ngoma, before I come in, do you want to give the date as shared in the program? I think that's the 30th of January. Can you indicate that?
Good morning, Chairperson. Morning, members, Advocate Mpofu and the team, as well as the Public Protector of Zambia. Chairperson, the resumption date is the 30th of January next year. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, Chair, can I speak?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, thank you for that. No, for some reason, the date we had in the program that was last sent to us was the 23rd, but we're comfortable with its current date for another reason, because there's likely to be some litigation in the week of the 23rd, so that it doesn't interfere with this committee. So that's fine. Thank you. For now, I wanted it for the purposes of scheduling the witness, but if there's any problem, we will interact with you, Chair. But as matters stand, we will try to have her on the first date of resumption.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. The other issue I wanted to raise was just to apologize for last Friday. It turned out that there was a mishap with our diaries, and that appearance was not last Friday, the one we thought, but is in the coming Friday. I'm just doing it just for transparency, but it's a long story how that mix-up happened. But I just wanted to put it on the record, Chair. There was another issue. Okay, no, if I've forgotten it, it means it was not that important. But if it's a burning issue, then we'll do it by correspondence. But I thought that there was another issue that I wanted to raise with you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine, Chair. Yeah, maybe it's just for information that the recusal application in court, which was scheduled for the 13th and 14th of December, might not take place on those days, but I'm in touch with your advocate and the DA's advocate about it. If there's anything that concerns the committee, we'll write you an email or something, but it will possibly happen before the resumption anyway. Thanks, Chair. But I don't think that's the issue that I've misled. Thank you.
Temingosi?
Thank you, Chair. I know maybe, Chair, it's a minor issue, but it just needs to be clarified as it impacts on the work of the Secretariat. The last program, Advocate Mpofu, that was shared with Nafisa on the 14th of November indicates the 30th of January as the resumption date next year. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you very much.
Okay. No, fair enough. Maybe it's my fault. Remember the one I said to the Chair.
Advocate Mpofu was still in this thing, so I know that it's just convenient to respond to him because at least you.
Oh, sorry, Chair. Sorry. I appreciate it. So sorry. No, Chair. I'm responding to you. No, I was saying, Chair. Remember last week I even said to you that your program omitted to include the the legal arguments. So it means mine was updated. That's fine. Then it's the problem is mine. I had it till the 23rd. I even adjusted my holiday plans. So I'm happy if I've got an extra week. Thank you.
Thank you, Advocate Mpofu. Just before I excuse Sokon, just to indicate that just on this issue, firstly, before I respond to Honorable Nwala's point and Honorable Maneli, that the program that Mr. Ngoma is referring to would have been sent to the presiding officers and the authority of the institution. That program has, as we stand now, has an end date that we have been given until when we proceed with this inquiry. So we are going to do everything else to ensure that when we miss witnesses, we reallocate, because we are not going to be given, we have been very clear to us. There's no extension that is going to be given on what has been outlined. So we're going to have to do all our best to ensure if there is a gap, something missing, that gets to be attended to in that way. I think, Honorable Nwala, you're correct, and therefore this is a point I'm making, that we will, depending if, as Honorable Maneli is saying, to allocate the witness back onto the program in the manner that I'm explaining it, that we have got quite a pointed program, defined milestones in that, and we've been given that kind of clarity as to the kind of work that we need to do now to go to that conclusion. Before I use the witness, I see the hand of Honorable Ompile, and then Advocate Mpofu, and then Advocate Bauer.
Thank you very much, Chair. So mine is on the program. I do know that I heard you saying Tembinkosi has sent us the revised program, which I believe he did. If you can just ask him to resend it again. I've been looking on my emails, and I did talk to him, by the way, I think it was last week, to say, please send it to me. Maybe he forgot. If you can ask him to resend us the program. Thank you, Chair.
We'll do so, Honorable Mautu, especially after today. It makes sense as people go away, they know, they plan accordingly. So that's in order. Thank you. Advocate Mpofu.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Well, two things. One is, I'm just flagging this as a possibility. As I said, we're in touch with your advocate in the recusal matter and the advocate of the DA. The last time I spoke to them, there was a possibility of, if this matter doesn't happen now, of it being heard in sometime in February. I'm just saying that once that is tightened, given what you're saying, once there's an agreement, we'll send it to you so that you can see what you can do about that in terms of adjusting the program or making up for it or whatever within the program as it stands, without necessarily having to extend it. If it happens, my preference is that the case should be heard on the week of the 23rd so that it doesn't interfere with this program. But if that doesn't succeed, we'll write to you, Chair, and indicate, and then just so that we don't tell you at the last minute or when we come back in January, for your planning. And that I will know in the next 24 hours once I've spoken to your team and ours. The other issue was, you say they have told you that you can't go beyond a particular date. Who's they?
We account here, Advocate Mpofu. So what this process is not a standalone process, entire process. Parliamentary processes have standing arrangements, there are deadlines, there are starts and
unreasonable deadlines. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Okay. You are muted, Nazarene.
Chair, good morning. I understand the deadlines and appreciate it. Advocate Mpofu, maybe we should have a meeting after this, because as matters now stand, we are not in possession of any statements to commence with any witnesses beyond the current one when the new year begins. And we do not know what the plan is going forward either in respect of that. It does warrant another backroom, and I have had that conversation with Advocate Mpofu, and it's best we get that sorted out today, because it does affect us in preparation as well.
Okay, thank you. Can the two of you or the two teams then interact on that issue, and then I'll get the feedback. Thank you. Ms. Sokoni. Ms. Sokoni.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Understand, you still the ombudsperson or public protector. You'll only be the judge sworn in. Am I right?
I beg your pardon, Chair?
As things stand, you're still in your old position as ombudsman.
Yes, I am. Yes, very much
only
so.
be the judge once sworn in.
Yes, Chair.
Okay. Good luck for you. We will then meet when that possibility realizes itself with all of the issues that have been raised. So I wanted to say Thank you to you, and now you are now excused.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas to you, Honorable Sokoni. Chairperson, you must be nice to the public protector. It's December, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Sokoni. You are now officially excused.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Honorable members,
Chair.
we can excuse also. So I think that the hand you are raising, you wanted to be excused. I do want to excuse you.
No.
Evidence leaders, so that we deal with our business as a committee.
Okay, Chair, yes, no, thank you for excusing us. I just said, I remembered the thing that I wanted to mention. It was that it's connected to what Advocate Bauer was raising about statements and so on, which we will deal with in the back room. But it was that in respect of this particular witness related to our consultation yesterday, we will also, just for the information of the members, we will file a supplementary statement, a short one, 2 or 3 pages, but it will be obviously on time before the 7-day period before she comes in. Might even be earlier than that. I just had wanted to raise that, which I had wanted her to confirm, but she's now gone. But it's just for the record, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Advocate Mpofu, to evidence leaders.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Maute.
No, thank you very much. No, I wanted to ask Advocate Bauer, listening to her asking for the statements from the witnesses that are going to appear on the 30th of December, that's like 2 months in advance. Was that courtesy also applied to the public protector during her time of her own witnesses? Was Advocate Advocate Mkhwebana also given 2 months to have the statements of the witnesses? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Maute. I'm not going to let you respond. I've already indicated that the 2 teams are going to interact on that issue. Thank you. I want to excuse both Advocate Mpofu and Advocate Bauer and Mayosi, so we proceed with items on the agenda as a committee.
Thank you, Chairperson. We also wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas with your team and honorable members, and good luck with your parliamentary activities.
Thank you,
Chair, Chairperson. Chair.
You?
Chair, before you log off the 2 advocates. Chair, you are not the spokesperson of Advocate Bauer. Actually, as I was speaking, I was looking at her. She was ready to respond to my question.
No.
Why are you not allowing her to respond?
Honorable
Are you now appointed the spokesperson of Advocate Bauer? Because what she's asking for is something that she should have done to Advocate Mkhwebana herself. Asking, no, it's wrong what you're doing, and you must be told that you are wrong.
Please don't do what you're doing, Honorable Maute.
Chair, I must call you to order when you're out of order. I must call you to order when you're out of order, Chair.
Tembingosi, can you kindly mute Honorable?
Because no, Chair, don't mute me.
She's disrupting the chairperson. Advocate Bauer and
I'm not going to be muted.
You are excused. We're now getting.
You're not going to mute me. I'm saying to you, why are you not allowing her to respond?
Honorable Maute, I'm not going to repeat this again to you.
No, Chair, you are unfair. You are unfair, and it must be registered that today you are now the spokesperson of Advocate Bauer, because you are refusing to give her a chance to respond.
Honorable Maute, I'm saying this for the last time. I hope you won't repeat.
I don't care. You can say it 100 times, Chair, but I'm saying to you.
And Sergeant at Arms, please remove Honorable Maute from
You can remove me, but it must be recorded that you are a spokesperson of Bauer. You are unfair.
Honorable Maute from the meeting. Please remove her. Thank you. Let's now proceed, honorable members. Mr. Koma would have sent to all of you. I've long excused you, Advocate Mpofu. Would have sent. We're now getting into a committee discussion.
Well, if the evidence leader is still here, I'll stay here. Okay, I'm okay, bye-bye. Okay, nice Christmas. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Honorable members, once we receive this correspondence about the witness not being able to do what she needed to do, we then ask the committee secretariat, as Honorable Ngola would have raised before, that we need to use whatever space that we get to attend to some of our outstanding minutes. That's the only item we're going to attend now, to use the time, at least even if it's for an hour or so, to deal with those outstanding minutes. And I think Mr. Ngoma would have sent that to you. I'm going to ask him to start rolling out those for any corrections, if there are, page by page, and approval or endorsement of those minutes. Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, it's a quite a number of sets of minutes. Chairperson, on the screen is the minutes of the 20th of July. Chair, I'm not sure if the members can see them.
We only see your email.
How's that now, Chair? Chairperson? Sure, Chairperson, thank you very much. So, Chair, I tabled the minutes of Wednesday, 20 July, where the committee met to reflect on the hearings of the previous week, and also considered and adopted a revised program.
Is that 20th of July?
Sorry, Chair.
21.
Chair, I'm just trying to 20th of July. Sorry, Chair, the minutes in actual fact, they start on the 27th. The 20th was adopted, 27th July 2022. Chair, on that day, Mr. Samuel appeared before the committee.
Can you flag them?
Can you see them, Chair? 27
Yeah.
July 2022.
All right. I know, honorable members, it was some time ago, so we're just going to quickly go page by page, page 1 for corrections, if anything you pick up. Page 2. Next page.
It happens, Chairperson, that on the day of this meeting, the Public Protector of Zambia was in attendance.
Oh, okay. Thank you for noting that. Thank you, colleagues. Any corrections? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
I move them.
Honorable, is that Lothrit?
It was Van Minen.
Minen, Honorable Van Minen moves. Any seconder?
I second the adoption of the minutes, Chairperson. Good morning.
Dr. Gondwe supports. Thank you. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chair. The next set would be the minutes of the 28th of July. I'm not sure what is happening, Chair. I'm really sorry. There's something that doesn't seem to go right with my sharing this side. Hence, I'm taking longer than you would expect. Thursday, the 28th of July, 2022, I tabled to the committee. Again, Chair, it was Mr. Samuel's second appearance before the committee.
Okay. Next page. Thank you.
That's a check.
Any corrections to be noted? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
I move, Chair. My name is
Honorable Nkosi moves. Any
Judith
second?
Chabalala, I second the mover. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Nemadzinga Chabalala seconds, and therefore the minutes duly adopted. Thank you. We proceed to the next set.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set, which is the last of July, is Friday, the 29th, 22. Mr. Samuel again appeared before the committee. And the first page and the second page is the attendance. And then Chairperson on the third page, yeah, that's when the content starts.
Okay. Thank you. At the end, any corrections noted, members? None. Do I have a mover?
I move, Chair.
Honorable Mulao, any seconder?
seconds.
Honorable Bekizwe Ngozi seconds. Therefore, the minutes are duly adopted. We move to the next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Good, sir. The next set, Chairperson, would be the minutes of the 1st of August, Monday, the 1st of August. I'm opening them now. Thank you, Chair. It was, I think, the last day of Mr. Samuel's appearance, and he had appeared virtually this time. Thank you, Chair. That first page and the second page is the attendance. And then from the third page, Chairperson, it's the minutes. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Any corrections noted? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Honorable Mkweba, I move, Chair.
Honorable Mkweba moves. Any seconder? Honorable Tlagude.
I second, Chairperson. Thank you.
Honorable Tlagude seconds, and therefore the minutes are duly adopted. Next set.
The next set is the minutes of Tuesday, the 2nd of August. Mr. Mahlangu appeared before the committee.
Okay. Thank you. Any corrections? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Enquiry moves, Chair.
Honorable Bekizwe
Maneli seconds. Maneli second. Honorable Maneli seconds.
Honorable Maneli seconds, and therefore the minutes are duly adopted. Thank you. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Next set, Chairperson, is Wednesday, the 3rd of August. Mr. Simon Tebele, Futana Simon Tebele appeared before the committee. And as it's a norm, the first 2.5 pages, attendance, and the after, Chairperson, yeah, the contents of the minutes.
Thank you. Any corrections picked up? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Honorable Judith Namadzinga Chabalala, I move for the adoption of the minutes as read and raised by the secretary. Thank you.
Honorable Namadzinga Chabalala moves. Any seconder?
Seconded, Chair.
Honorable Ngola seconds, and therefore the minutes are duly adopted. We proceed to the next.
The next chairperson is Thursday, the 4th of August. Mr. Baldwin Ashunzi appeared before the committee.
Any corrections, members? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Namadzinga Chabalala moves for the adoption of the minutes as read and raised by the secretary. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Namadzinga Chabalala moves. Any seconder?
Seconded,
Honorable Mkweba seconds. The minutes are duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set is August the 5th, where Mr. Pillay appeared before the committee as a witness. First 2.5 pages, and then the contents of the minutes, Chair. Very short one, a very short set of minutes.
Okay. Any corrections? None. Do you have a mover for the minutes?
Beginkosi moves.
Honorable Begizwe Nkosi moves. Any seconder?
I'll second, Chair. That's Van Minen.
Honorable Van Minen seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set would be Wednesday, 10 August 2022. And on that day, Advocate Libuani Chiwalule appeared before the committee.
Thank you. Any corrections? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Chair, I move for the adoption of the minutes.
Honorable Gondwe moves. Any seconder?
I second, Chairperson.
Which one? You spoke at the
It's
same time.
Miss- Yes, I think I'll give it over to Ms. Iweya, Chair.
Honorable Siwele, please be on record. Honorable Chabalala, come in.
Yes, Chairperson, I duly second the adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
Minutes seconded and minutes therefore duly adopted. The next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set of minutes is for Thursday, 11th August, when Advocate Ndisheni Raidane appeared before the committee. My apologies for that error.
Thank you. Any corrections picked up, members, especially those that would have been present? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Check.
Honorable Maneli moves. Seconder.
I second, Chair.
Honorable Masaule seconds. Minute therefore duly adopted. We move to the next. Mr. Ngoma.
Oh, yes. Okay, Chair. I saw Ms. Lagude's hand was up, so I thought she wanted to raise something, but I assumed that she wanted to second the minutes. Thank you, Chair. Chairperson, I then tabled the minutes of 16 August 2022. It was on a Tuesday, and it was a meeting of the committee held on the Zoom platform. Briefing by the Constitutional and Legal Services Office on the legal opinion, the consideration of correspondence before the committee, adoption of the revised program, and adoption of minutes of 10 June and 1 to 19 July.
Thank you. Any corrections picked up? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes of that committee meeting?
I move for the adoption of the minutes, Chairperson.
Honorable Kondwe moves. Any seconder? Honorable Becky Zwenkosi seconds. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chair. The next set would be minutes of Wednesday, the 17th of August, when Mr. Kelela appeared before the committee as a witness. Thank you, Chair.
Any questions picked up, members? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Chair, can I move on behalf of Zungula? Where is Zungula, Chairperson?
Honorable Namadzinga Chabalala moves. Any second? Honorable Becky Zwenkosi seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
The next set is Thursday, the 18th of August, where Mr. Reginald Ndo appeared before the committee. Yeah, Chair, and I know that honorable member wanted to move on behalf of other members, Chairperson, but I won't capture that, Chairperson. That move was from Ms. Chabala.
Yes, I indicated as such.
Thank you, Chair. Those are the minutes.
Thank you. Any corrections? Noted. Do I have a mover for the minutes? Honorable Lotrit, do I see your hand?
moves.
Honorable Becky Zwenkosi moves. Any seconder?
I'll second, Chair. Honorable Lotrit.
Honorable Lotrit is alive and is seconding. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Next set, Chairperson, is the minutes of Monday, the 22nd of August. Ms. Basani Baloyi appeared before the committee.
Thank you.
Those are the minutes, right?
Any corrections, members? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
J. Chabalala, I move, Chairperson.
Honorable Namadzinga Chabalala moves. Any seconder?
Honorable Mkweba, I second, Chair. Thanks.
Honorable Mkweba seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set of minutes is for Tuesday, the 23rd of August, where Mr. Ndo reappeared before the committee. Members would remember that in his first appearance, we had challenges with Network Commission and therefore had to appear physically before the committee. So these are the minutes of the day. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Any corrections picked up, members? And do I have a mover for the minutes?
Chair, I move on behalf of Honorable Omesa.
Honorable Mulao moves for the adoption of the minutes. Any seconder?
Chair, Honorable Tlhape moves for secondment.
Honorable Klape seconds, and therefore minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Chairperson, I table the minutes of Wednesday, 24 August on your behalf, when Ms. Mukhaladi appeared before the committee, and I table the minutes, Chair.
Thank you. Any corrections, members, on the minutes? Let's go to the last page. Is that the last page? Thank you.
Yes, Chairperson, this is the last page.
Do I have a mover?
Honorable
I'll
Chair.
move, Chair.
Okay.
Come again.
Honorable Chair, Tlhape moves for adoption of the minutes of the 24th as a true reflection of proceedings. I thank you.
Tlhape moves. Do I have a seconder?
Honorable Van Minen seconds.
Honorable Van Minen seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set of minutes, Mr. Ngoma.
Chairperson, thank you very much. Thursday, 25th August 2022, when Ms. Punacheko Mukhaladi appeared before the committee for the second day. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any corrections, members? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Thank you, Chairperson. The name is Judith Namazinga Chobalala. I move for the adoption of the minutes as read and raised. Thank you.
Honorable Namazinga Chobalala moves. Any seconder?
I second the adoption of the minutes, Chairperson. Thank you.
Honorable Gondwe seconds. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. These are the minutes of the 26th of August, and Mr. Mundu Sitole appeared before the committee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any corrections picked up? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
It's Honorable Lottridge. I'll move, Chair.
Honorable Lottridge moves. Any seconder?
I will second.
Honorable Superzia, Chair, I move for the adoption.
Honorable Melder seconds. Thank you for coming in, Mr. Sukas, but we record Mr. Melder, and therefore the minutes are duly adopted. Next set of minutes, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thursday, the 8th of September, Mr. Sitole appeared before the committee for the second time. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any corrections? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Chairperson Chabalala here, Nemazinga, I truly move for the adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
Honorable Nemazinga Chabalala moves. Any seconder? No seconder for the minutes.
Chair, I second the adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
And you are Honorable Gondwe?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Please mention
The one and
yourself.
only.
Yes. Honorable Gondwe seconds, and therefore minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set is Friday, 9th September 2022. Mr. Sitole and Ms. Mutsiti appeared before the committee, and I present to you the minutes, Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Any corrections on the minutes? And do I have a mover for the minutes?
Honorable Mkweba, I move, Chair.
Honorable Mkweba moves. Any seconder?
I second, Chair.
Honorable Mulao seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Next chairperson is the minutes of Saturday, the 10th of September. Ms. Mutiti again appeared before the committee. Thank you, Chairperson.
Any corrections? Any mover for the minutes?
Maneli, move, sir.
Honorable Maneli moves. Any seconder?
I second, Chair.
Honorable Lagude seconds. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set is the minutes of the 13th of September 2022. Ms. Tejane appearing before the committee. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Corrections noted? None. Any mover for the minutes?
Honorable Lotrick moving.
Honorable Lotrick moves. Any seconder?
I second the adoption of the minutes, Chairperson. Thank you.
Honorable Gonda seconds. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set is the minutes of Wednesday, 21 September 2022. You remember, Chair, that this day, that's why there's difference in the agenda, because the agenda for this day was Ms. Tejana appearing before the committee, but you remember what transpired, and we ended up with a recusal application for Chair Mr. Mulao.
Thank you. Any corrections? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
I move for the adoption.
Honorable Ngola moves. Any seconder?
I move to second, Chair. Honorable Sukas here.
Honorable Sukas in seconding. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Thank you. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. On Friday, the 23rd of September 2022, this committee met and held a discussion on the recusal application that was launched by the Public Protector and the team. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chairperson.
Any corrections? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
I move,
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Begizwe Ngosi moves. Any seconder?
Chairperson, Honorable Mananis.
Honorable Dana seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set would be the minutes of the 17th of October. As I'm getting them on the screen, that would be the minutes of Monday, 17th of October. The committee received a response by the chairperson and Mr. Mulao on the recusal application, as well as the overview of the independent legal opinion. And the committee had deliberations and discussed the way forward. And the committee secretary tabled correspondence before the committee. Chairperson, safe to say that as these minutes are being adopted, you note some contain annexures, which of course members of this committee have. But as these minutes will be posted on the committee web page, on the parliamentary homepage, those annexures will then be attached to each and every set of minutes for the benefit of the members of the public that have interest in the work of the committee. Chair, I table the minutes of the 17th of October, 2022.
Thank you. Any corrections, honorable members? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair.
Yes, Honorable Mananiso.
Yes, Honorable Jane Mananiso moves for the adoption of the minutes as a true reflection of the meeting. Thank you.
Honorable Mananiso moves. Any seconder?
Lottery seconds.
Honorable Maneli seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set of minutes would be the minutes of Thursday, 20th October 2022. Consideration of the recusal application lodged by the United Democratic Movement and the tabling of correspondence and consideration thereof. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any corrections, members? Do you have a mover for the minutes?
Honorable Jane Nemazinga Chabalala moves.
I heard Honorable Dana first. I think this one is just a bullying with her voice. Honorable Dana moves. Any seconder?
I second, Chairperson.
Honorable Nemazinga second. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set of minutes is minutes of Thursday, the 27th of October 2022. It was the consideration of the adjournment application and then the consideration of the revised committee program. Ms. Nelisiwe also appeared before the committee, as well as Mr. Van der Merwe. Although he might not have appeared on that day, but he was scheduled to appear before the committee on that day. Thank you, Chair. That is the minutes of the 27th of October. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Any corrections? Do you have a mover for the minutes?
Nkosi moves, Chairperson.
Honorable Begizwe Nkosi moves. Any seconder?
Thank you, Chair.
Who's seconding?
Honorable Mananiso.
Honorable Mananiso seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set of minutes, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set of minutes would be the minutes of 28th October 2022. Friday, the 28th of October 2022. On this day, also it expected Mr. Van der Merwe to appear before the committee, but such was overtaken by other events. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Any corrections picked up? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Nkosi moves, Chairperson.
Honorable Bekizwe Ngosi moves. Any seconder?
Maneli, seconds.
Maneli seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Next set, Chairperson, thank you, is the minutes of Tuesday, 1 November 2022. Mr. Van der Merwe appeared before the committee. Check.
Thank you. Any corrections picked up? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Ngosi moves, Chairperson.
Honorable Bekizwe Ngosi moves. Any seconder?
Honorable Van Minen moves.
Honorable Benedicta van Minen moves. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chair. I am tabling the minutes of Wednesday, 2nd November 2022. Mr. Van der Merwe appeared before the committee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any corrections? Do you have a mover for the minutes?
Judith Nematzinga Chabalala, Chairperson. I move for the adoption of the minutes as read and raised. Thank you.
Nematzinga Chabalala moves. Any seconder?
I second the adoption of the minutes, Chairperson. Thank you.
Honorable Gondwe seconds. Minutes duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. Minutes of Wednesday, 9 November 2022. This was the cross-examination of Ms. Nelisiwe Tejani, Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any corrections? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Chair, I move.
Honorable Ngola moves. Any seconder?
Honorable Minen will second.
Honorable Van Minen seconds. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next minutes is Thursday, 10th November 2022. We are almost there, honorable members, where Mr. Van der Merwe appeared before the committee, Chair.
Thank you. Any corrections? None. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Ngosi moves, Chair.
Honorable Bekizwe Ngosi moves. Any seconder?
Honorable Mananiso, Chair.
Honorable Mananiso
I
seconds.
second you.
Duly adopted. The next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set is the minutes of Friday, 11th November 2022. Mr. Van der Merwe again appeared before the committee. I know, Chair, you asked me to provide a report regarding what transpired on the day with the audio system. I'm still working on that, Chair. Thank you so much. Chair, those are the minutes of the 11th.
Thank you. Any corrections picked up? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Chairperson, it's Honourable Lotrit. I just want to make sure I am minuted as being present as well as having tendered an apology. So I don't know if it might have been because I informed him because that I had load shedding at some point. So that could be the
Let's
the
check
issue.
that. Thank you for picking that up. Mr. Ngoma?
Yes, I've corrected it, Chair. It happens sometimes. Members would submit an apology, but during the course of the meeting join in. So I'll just sometimes capture them without removing their apologies. So yeah, that is correct, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Okay, correction done. Do I have a mover for the minutes?
I think, Chair, there's been a mover in the second already. I just share those minutes so that Ms. Lotrit can see that I have corrected that error.
Move to the next set.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set is the minutes of Monday, the 28th of November, where the committee considered the removal application that was lodged against the evidence leaders by the public protector, and also afforded opening remarks to the public protector as the committee was starting with its phase 2 of the hearings. Yes, Chair, so I so tabled the minutes.
Thank you. Any corrections picked up? Do I have a mover for the minutes?
Maneli,
Thank you, Chair. I move for the adoption of the minutes as tabled.
Honorable Hermans moves. Any seconder?
So Maneli, seconds.
Honorable Maneli seconds. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. I can confirm that both members, Ms. Hermans, who moved, and Mr. Maneli, that seconded, were indeed in attendance and did so in their own right when they moved for the adoption of those minutes. Chair, I tabled the minutes of Tuesday, 29th November 2022.
I see Maneli and Hermans are suspects of attendance. Go ahead.
No, they are not, Chair, but I often receive apologies.
But that's not on behalf of.
I often receive apologies from Ms. Maneli and from Mr. Maneli and Ms. Hermans, but they would later join in. Would remember that they also chair other committees, Chairperson, but they would later join in. So that's why I had to confirm that they were indeed in attendance on the date. Chairperson, these are the minutes of the 29th, and thank you.
Any corrections, members, picked up? Do I have a mover?
Chair, I can confirm that I was in attendance. I move for the adoption of them.
Honorable Mulao moves. Any seconder? Any seconder?
Seconds.
Honorable Gizwe goes to seconds. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Thank you, Chairperson. The next set, Chairperson, is the minutes of the 29th, of the 30th of November. Mr. Nyatela appeared before the committee.
Okay.
Sorry, Chair. Bring them back. Sure, Chair. So, yeah.
Okay. Any corrections? Do I have a mover for the adoption of the minutes?
Chapter moves, Chair,
Honorable
for the
Clapper move.
adoption of the minutes.
Thank you. Any seconder?
Maneli was present, Chair, and second.
Honorable Maneli seconds. Minutes therefore duly adopted. Next set, Mr. Ngoma.
Chairperson, that would be the last set of minutes for this period, Chair. Then would only have the minutes of Thursday, 1 December, and today's minutes that will then be adopted in the first meeting of the committee in 2023. Reason why, Chair, those minutes, I'm sure you have not received them. Also, the 1st of December minutes after they've been edited. So, yeah, that is why we are unable to adopt them today. But we'll only have those two sets, which will, I hope that we will start with them when we resume next year, Chair. And furthermore, Chairperson, I would also, I understand that sometimes it becomes very difficult for us to consider minutes, as we had always planned to do that when we're discussing the program. But I would also like to request that maybe when we get into the new year, that at least even if we adopt every week a set of minutes of the previous week, so that we avoid going through this the similar exercise. And Chairperson, lastly, I would like to thank the members. I'd like to thank yourself for all the support that you've provided to me since we started with this journey in July 2021. It's really much appreciated, Chairperson, the support that I received from each and every member and support staff members of this committee. Of course, this is something that has never taken place in the country. So there would be then some glitches, Chairperson, but as the Secretariat, we always try our utmost best to avoid those. And if in any event, something that we did not foresee happens, we always work to ensure that it does not happen again. So Chairperson, it's really appreciated the support that we get from this committee. And on behalf of the Secretariat, I'd like to wish each and every member a happy Christmas, a prosperous New Year until we meet again. Next year, I remain available, honorable members, as you would know, on my cell phone, on my WhatsApp, and on my email. And as I had committed in the beginning of this process, I'm still making that commitment of being available on 24-hour basis. Chairperson, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ngoma. Honorable members, this is a last meeting of this inquiry. Yeah, I thought it would be just for the few minutes to allow you to raise any general comments or remarks that you want to place, including how we improve the program that starts in January as we conclude. If members want to make any comments, I will allow that. We find members. Nobody wants to make any comment.
I'm fine, Chair, from my side.
Yes, Honorable Clapper.
I was saying, Chair, I'm fine from my side. That's why I'm quiet.
Thank you.
Chairperson, it's Honorable Lotriet.
Thank you.
I would also just from our side want to thank all the staff members, the legal staff, the administrative staff, all the support staff. I think they have done exceptionally well, kept us up to date, and thank you very much for their dedication and commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Lotriet. Any other member?
Abo umkhuluwa uManeli makasimele ifuna ukuthetha abakhuluwa ngo.
Honorable Dlakude.
Thank you very much, Comrade Honorable Chairperson. Good afternoon, colleagues. Let me take this opportunity, Honorable Chair, to thank yourself for leading us, for being a good leader and chairperson of this committee. You tried your best to steer it to the right direction, even though sometimes it seems like other people wanted the train to derail, but you kept it on track. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. And to our colleagues for your best behavior, thank you very much. And the support staff of this committee, we appreciate the good work that you've been doing. We thank you very much, even though you've been working under difficult circumstances, but we really appreciate your good work. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Please don't do something that I wouldn't do. Thanks, Honorable Chair.
Thank you.
Anything that I wouldn't do, please don't do. Thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Labode. Comments welcomed very much. Thank you. Do I leave anybody else before we close?
Besides to say long live the chair. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Chabalala. Thank you, members, to all of you. We are taking a break and we hope to come back re-energized and finish off our work so that we don't proceed or extend beyond the time that we emphasized earlier. So please go and re-energize and come back recharged for us to conclude this very important task. Thank you very much. We will see you in this space in 2023 in terms of this inquiry. Thank you to all of you. Members of the public who followed us from day one and every day, who took a particular interest, a very keen interest. Your participation would have broken all records of attendance and interaction with committees of Parliament. That's how serious you take this matter as members of public, members of the media, our support team, the evidence leaders, and the entire support staff in all your various roles. We're not there yet, so keep your focus as we restart in January. Thank you, honorable members. The meeting is adjourned.